Hey champions, I moved the camera down a little bit so you can see Kasha's face a little bit better because Kasha's awesome. So I just came off from playing with the Kitchen Table TCG community. It was absolutely amazing, and we got in 2 games. I recorded both of those, so the next 2 videos will be that. This video is focused around, I was teaching them how to use the Fate Weaver, doing some deck building. It was interesting, got to break down a lot of things and answer some questions. So this is going to be kind of a rehash of the previous video with a bit more of an FAQ section to it. So if you're still trying to figure out how to use the Fate Weaver, this is the video for you. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video, but let's get to it. So I may chop this up as there's more or less relevant parts, but we'll go through it. So part of just what I want to do is hopefully get you two into a game against each other, but at the very least explain Fate Weaver, Coliseum Fate, and why they're so awesome. So
all right, sounds good.
I think for now I'm going to share my screen in case that way you can be looking at that, and if you have 2 monitors then you can log in yourself and check it out, but otherwise you have the opportunity of seeing whatever I'm seeing. So I'm just gonna share the link first. So he recently bought some domain spaces, which is cool. So it's genesis.coliseumofate.com. You can also just do coliseumofate one word.com to get here.
Okay.
So there's 2 major tools. I haven't gone through everything that's here, but there's 2 major tools that we're going to be exploring today, which is the Fate Weaver and the Coliseum. But while we're here, we might as well check out the other things. So cool thing is it's a sign in through your Discord. And so connecting it to your Discord account, we all have Discord accounts, so it makes life a little bit easier. And this will allow you to build decks and save it to your account. So
okay,
let's authorize that. Alright, so the Fate Weaver itself is a deck builder tool. It's a really powerful one, which is pretty awesome. They've been working on it since alpha, basically. But it really saw a huge amount of revival / rework more recently. So if you get a chance, come over to the Fate Weaver. You'll have all your decks that you built. So a lot of these ones with the symbol behind them, these are ones that are pre-con otherwise. I'm guessing these exclamation mark are older decks that could probably get deleted. And then there's the ones that I've made. So I have my Evasive Core deck and my Long Holy deck. So when you go into new deck, on the right side, it'll give you all the champions you can choose from. Once you select which champion you're going to build with, I'll give you the opportunity to start choosing from the card pool. So let's build a deck together. I guess that would be the most interactive and interesting way of doing this. So which champion are either of you interested in?
Ben, it's all you.
let's do Nubia.
Alright, so once we select Nubia, what it'll do is all the other cards that Nubia can play with are open to us now at the bottom.
Okay.
And so you'll have all the Jailara cards, Axon, and Bellum cards, or combination cards. So Angel Retribution, or I'm trying to remember what the other tribal cards are. I don't know them off the top of my mind. It's kind of bad, but that's okay. So the cool thing we can do here is there's a bunch of different types of searches we can do. So if we want to look for something like Angel, we'll see any card that references angels in there,
Okay.
including Angel Retribution, of course. But you can also look up by type. I'm guessing it'll just be type, summon. And we can narrow this down to all the summons that we want to look for. We can also narrow this down by chi, So if we go chi, comma, 8, it'll just give us the 8 chi cards that newbie can play with.
Okay.
So, any particular strategy, anything that comes to your mind that you want to try? Like, do you want to try building her as a summoner, a caster, a fighter?
A caster, probably.
All right. So let's look at some of the key spells here. So if we go type, spell. Let me know if anything kind of pops out as a card you want to try out. So some of the things, especially for win cons, Thunderstruck is a very underrated card. A lot of power in that. Cogrestrike's definitely a fan favorite. Mystical Spear is interesting because of its split cost. It allows you to play it in a lot of different settings. Sandstorm's a good AoE. We know which AoE we're looking for, though.
Yeah.
There it is.
That one.
That's the one. Chain Lightning has some value, but it's definitely a lot more difficult to pull off. So, Searing Light's not bad. I'm just pulling out all the decent, damaging spells that I've tried. Gust is one that gets forgotten quite a bit. Alright. So what you'll see here, right now all these cards have 0 quantities of them. I'm surprised. There should be Subjugation Strike as well, unless I missed that somewhere.
I saw it.
Yeah, I thought I saw it too.
Maybe before you put the search function in, I'm not sure.
Let's look. We know what we're looking for. So right now there's running 0 copies of every single card, but once we start adding in a few, so let's just say we add in a Substrike, it's going to say, okay, you got 2 cards in your deck, and this is the total chi that you have so far. You have 234 points open with 48 cards, which average out to 4.8 chi per card you want to add in. So
that's nice.
This can help you with a lot of that math. And then balance, you're off by 6, so you're over by 6 points. You need to add in some 3s and 4s to bring that back down to 0. So if we want to look at some of the good 3 chis, so chi 3. There are a lot of good ones. Combust, Mind Reading, Pressure Point is stable, so it's Shutdown. But if you're playing heavy on the caster side, you probably want to look for things that either cost you low amount of aura, so like Combust, or things that are costing you energy, like Pressure Point. Big reason why Pressure Point gets played with Nubia is the fact that a lot of her aura wants to be spent on the higher end of things.
Yeah.
I didn't even filter this down. G3. I like the Fire Cub. It's pretty stable. But the nice thing about Nubia is she's never top decking per se. She's always drawing 2 cards, and that's why Combust. Yeah, Combust always has value because you can always play it, even if you're in the top decking phase. Left hook is also something that I say don't forget about it. So, I mean, if there's something you particularly want to add, then let me know.
Yeah, I'm more just interested in the interface and figuring it all out.
So let's so we got the Substrikes. I usually like to balance 8s out with a combination of 3s and 4s, but you can balance out 2 8s with 3 3s, right? So if I go 3 Combustes, 2 3, so 5 cards, 45 remaining. The pop-ups shows up every time. But we average out to 5, so we're our balance is perfect. We're at 0. We have 3 summons in the deck. Aura is at 32. So out of all the cards we put in, the total amount of aura of them is 32. This this gives us an average of 6.4 rounds by the time we run out of aura. So this is calculated by expected aura played divided by the champion's aura base. So that'll give you the average of 6 to 10 rounds. So,
wow.
yeah, it really starts digging into a lot of the math. There's a lot that you can do with this. So, I mean, a very classic deck is the Tsunamis. So if we want to just add a whole bunch of them, we can just type in 10 here, hit enter. It will drop all 10 into the deck, giving us... So this is aura turns. What does this say? Expected turns of aura. How many turns of aggressive spending? And then aura, this is your total amount. This is 14.13. This is expected aura played, which I don't know how that's calculated, divided by champion aura. So based on average, assuming aggressive spend, 6 to 10. So... Okay, I'll have to look into some of that math, but that's...
Yeah, let's finish the deck and see what the numbers look like. Yeah,
Yes,
just
yes.
yeah.
I'm getting distracted. Okay, so definitely on the 3G side, we want to see... I'd probably look into... Well, it depends what we put in the higher end. What are some good higher end... I think Bolt Shot's a good option here.
It's always a good option.
Yes. Bolt Shot. So let's get 6 of these into the deck. Balance them out with... I'm going to put in 2 mind readings and 4 pressure points. So 23 cards remaining. Round this out to 4 subjugation strikes. So we put in 4 Cabusses and 4 gusts. I'm not going to run the Searing Lights because the gusts are a good alternative to that. Allows you to play a little bit close. So if you just delete the number out of here, then it'll just remove the card from your list, allowing for some good filtering. Let's take out the shutdowns. And then I want Dedicated Studies as the other one. So let's go with 5 of these. I'm gonna balance them out with 3 of the... that went away because I didn't put in a number. So where's Mystical Spear? Is it Mystical? Here it is.
Oh.
Putting on 5 of those, leaving 6 spots open. And balance is still good. And we need 3 and 3 or 6 of a single thing at 5G. Thoughts? Cog restricts, so there's very little evasion in this deck, right? You got Pressure Point and Gust as kind of some countermeasure. Chrono Walker would be a good option in here.
Yeah.
It's a very heavy aura base, but it's Nubia. We expect it to be a heavy aura base. And it's not like you're not spending energy. You got the Pressure Point dedicated, Bolt Shots. And then if you're really low on aura, you got the Mystical Spears to help you there. So, yeah. Chrono. With 6 remaining, we can run 4 Chronos. But if we do that, we have to run 2 3s. Let's add another Cabas and another Pressure Point. You could split up the Pressure Points with shutdowns if you're feeling that's too heavy on that side. But
yeah.
So the cool thing with this state is now you can kind of see that grouping by the cheese. So 3s, 4, 5, 6, 7s. You can also split this over to like types.
Oh, that's
so summons,
nice.
spells, techniques, enchantments. There's also tags. Oh, I guess, yeah. That was an old feature. I guess it's not there. You get the rarities. This isn't going to be super accurate. Epics and rares should be combined anyways. And also cards shifted, right? So, like...
different sets.
Yeah. Affiliations. Bellum Axon. The Bellum symbols covering over the collection. But that's probably because I zoomed out. Aura. 5, 12, 16, 17, 18. That's actually pretty cool. Nothing super expensive, but there's a lot on the higher end. And then energy. Oh, it's interesting that I put this under energy and not aura. But I mean, at the key here, you got it down by what do you call it? Chi, which is very solid.
Yeah.
So let me take a screenshot of this, throw this into the chat.
So that at the top, what you were looking at before, so that aura count would be the total aura for the deck, the total cost. And then the 9 is the average.
So let's see. So aura is expected aura played divided by champion's aura. So amount of aura you've got, like that's in the deck, is 450. If we take all the aura points on the cards, add them up is 450, divided by that 150 start on Nubia is 9. Is that right?
No, that doesn't sound right.
That would be
450 seems right, but
yeah. So I don't know what all the number is. I know the person who made this, he's a lot more mathematically savvy than I am. So he's probably seeing something that I just don't see when it comes to that. But what does make sense to me, especially when we go back to... let's go back to regular Zoom. Energy turn.
Is that the average cost of like each card in the deck?
that's what I'm thinking, maybe. 450.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, divided by 9.
So 450 divided by 50 gives you 9, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so the average card, so they're giving you basically like the mana curve of your deck.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I
Energy
have a question.
Yeah?
Is there a way to search for cards that cost energy versus cards that cost aura? Maybe you said that earlier and I could have missed it. Cost energy. Okay. Neat.
It doesn't look like it's doing that. Let's see if we can... it might not. But let's try, like, if we type in aura, what does it give us? So aura space gave us all the cards that have the word aura in it. Is that right? No, Kabus wouldn't be here then. Oh, it's probably from the flavor text in Kabus. It works pretty well, but it's not perfect.
So I just typed, I did energy space, and that's sifted a lot of them in, or out, I guess.
Yeah, it gets you pretty close. It still has, like, fire protection. No, fire protection costs energy. The only banned card in the game, Hydroblast.
I like how he included it anyway.
So yeah, this did it pretty good, except for, like, this is a good case where Torrents, the actual text within the ability says the word energy. So that's where that filtering didn't work out perfectly. But it gets you pretty close.
Yep.
So yeah, that's definitely a powerful way of filtering things down.
That's something that I always want to do in TTS, and I always have trouble with it.
Let's call this maybe a spellcaster. Somehow I got an extra card added in here. Oh, Silverleg Recluse. We don't need that Silverleg Recluse. So yeah, 50 cards, 250 points. Average is 5. Everything's good on that front. aura turns. So this is assuming that you're spending your aura very aggressively. And I don't know what aggressive means per se, but I assume that's like, you know, trying to run through your aura every single turn. You're gonna last about 5 rounds. So, and then energy, same, 6 rounds. So if you're expecting kind of a quick tempo game, then this works well. If you're playing against kind of a slow deck, something like a long summoner or an eater summoner, then this isn't going to work as well. You do have some AoE that will help you with that. So that's some of the stuff I always look at is what's your defensive stance if you get backed into a corner. What is your answers if you're dealing against angels? And then also, what are some of your like tricks up your sleeve that you're going to have that your opponent's not going to see coming? And I think the Mystical Spear is something that a lot of people wouldn't expect in a Nubia deck. Cool. Any questions about Fate Weaver?
I like that. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have one more quick question,
Yeah.
and again, maybe you said this earlier, but to remove a card from your like deck on the left, so like if you click it, it has 0, and then is there a way to remove it?
Yeah, so go in here and just delete the 0 or put in a non-number and it'll remove it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no worries. Perfect. So yeah, this is going to be really useful, especially if you're just like quickly building out decks. Instead of loading up Tabletop Simulator and waiting for all the images to load, it could take a lot of time and it could be very taxing on a computer. This is just done straight in Chrome. So it's taking nothing from my computer to do this. Very powerful, and then on top of that, it will help you balance out your deck if you have difficulties counting out the chi, which I know it's one of the big complaints I get about the game is that deck building is too difficult. The cool thing that's also in here is, so we have this deck saved. If we go to, I'm gonna assume we go to decks. Let's try that. Yeah, so this had some of these other decks, which were some. So this is the Raha starter deck that you get. Raha versus Eater starter deck. This is the championship winners deck. So Sydney won with this Kun deck. This was second place. This is the deck that my core evasion deck is based off of. So you can open this up and okay, so we can copy this, giving us our own copy, and then go in and start editing this and making changes. So it gives you kind of that baseline that you can play around with. Cool? Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, let's look into doing some battles. As I close off this video, I want to remind you to support your local game stores. They are the backbone of the hobby industry. Also, please follow our partner content creators. They are working very hard to make content that you are interested in. So check out our playlist of videos made by them and like and subscribe to their videos. Finally, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to all our Patreon supporters. Without you, this game would not be where it is today. Thank you for being awesome, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.